Hi, today I'm at Rockford Common. There's a great big massive sandy hill behind me, believe it or not. A lot of sand martins used to nest there, not so much anymore. It's too disturbed by man, but I'm heading up onto the top. I'm hoping to get some good views tonight. I've just got a few uphill climbs to do before I get where I need to be. And Moores Court is over in that direction. And I'm on the opposite side of the hill from the plateau from my last video. I don't think I'm going to get any cloud like I had that night, but we'll see what we can get. See you in a bit. I feel a little bit like that cow. How is it in every single video I'm always walking up? Some really spectacular views up here. Still no clouds. It's interesting how this evening could play out. Onwards and upwards again. Whew. I'm going to walk along the brow of the hill. That's pretty much where I videoed my last video, or captured my last video, on that side. And now I'm on the opposite side. And I haven't got the same clouds, but it might change as the evening plays on. So I'm just gonna go along with it and see what happens. New Forest pony, just a reminder, they are allowed to freely roam in the New Forest in the UK, and they make stunning foregrounds for your photos. So ideal. Always maintain your distance. They're quite tame, but they can have their little moments when they're spooked. And definitely do not feed them. That's forbidden, and it can make them very ill. One of the things I really like about Rockford Common is that it can make for good photographs early morning and sunsets. So it kind of works both ways. And it's just littered with silver birch trees all along the side. So if you can single them out, you've got a good foreground interest there. That's if you don't find a pony. And there's quite a few here. And in the summer, when the sun goes up more towards the north, it can actually work in your favour, particularly when the heather's out. And what you've got here, I think they're called pillows, pillow mounds. It's just where the mounds just sort of go like that all the way along the brow of this hill. And you just find birch trees on the end of the brow, and they can make really stunning foregrounds. I can see the trees that I took photos of in my last video, which is now about a week ago. So I'm hoping to get a video together for this Friday, and I'll share it with you, provided this evening gives me some good light. I should be able to share some good images, and I'll see if I can walk you through my thought process when I'm taking my images. See you in a bit. Okay, one of the wonderful things about the New Forest is that you've got 3 roaming ponies and they make great shots. I'm watching this white one now. It's hiding behind a tree. I've got the sun behind him. So what I go for when I'm taking a picture of a horse is I go for a shallower depth of field than I would do in my landscape. I've gone to an aperture of f5.6 here. I'm on an ISO of 64, and the reason behind that is because my shutter speed is quite high, so I'm allowed to go quite low with the ISO, and if I start introducing the ISO, it starts to get a bit grainy. So I've taken a few shots there and I'll share them with you. And there's a few reasons why you want to get a faster shutter speed when you're taking pictures of slow moving animals. If you're hand holding your camera, you're actually more flexible. In my opinion, you are anyway. You can move around the subject a bit more, and to lean over just a foot can make all the difference if the animal's slowly moving through the shot. These ponies are not exactly going really fast, so it allows me to use a shutter speed of about 320th of a second, which is fast enough for like humans walking at a normal pace, animals moving around, but I don't try to get the movement. What I'm trying to get here is a moment where it's lifted its head up, or a moment where it's moved forwards and it's grazing on the floor again. Nobody really wants to see a picture of a pony with its head in a bush, so you've got to wait for your moment to take your shot. And that's why it's always good to have a little bit of flexibility and not use a tripod, even though I've got one with me. So I spotted a few trees on the other side of this little valley here. I'm going to head over there now and see if there's any compositions there with the sun behind the tree maybe, but at the moment they are absolutely bathed in light. So let's get over there and take a look. I've got a good probably an hour left before the sun goes down, so I've got plenty of time to look for a composition over there. It's got a little bit of walking to do, and I'm okay with that. Well, what about this? Here I've got a silver birch tree that's leaning right over, almost like 90 degrees, and then it's decided to go 90 degrees at the end of it, up into the air. So it looks like normal growth on the end, but up to that point something has made it lean over. I'm not sure if I can get a composition here. It's a little bit tight with all the other trees around it, but I will just maneuver around it until I find something, and then I'll come back to you. I'm going to have a go at going for a portrait composition on this tree, this silver birch. As you can see behind, it's kind of going away from me, so I'm a little bit worried about how that will come across to the viewer, and I need to bear that in mind, that this tree is going away from me before it goes up. It might not portray that movement, so you need to bear that in mind. So I'm going in quite tight here. I don't want to show too much around this subject because it's too distracting here. It's very cluttered. I might not even use this shot. But as you can see there, my histogram is all stacked up in the middle. It's really, really good. This is a sunlight hitting it from the side. So I'm going to have lit up branches on one side, on the left hand side, and it's going to drop off into darkness on the right hand side, which is great because that gives the image a bit more pop. Just love the bark on that silver birch at the moment. It's looking a bit like a scaly dragon skin or something. Really interesting texture. So focused on the first bend of the scaly bark, and I'm on a shutter of 1/20th of a second, and I'm on an aperture of f10 and an ISO of 64. The more important thing for me at the moment is the branches coming out at the horizon and not behind the horizon. And it is just a case of playing until you find that right image. So I'm going to take a few shots of this from this angle. Now I've had to increase the shutter quickly just to have a look in my foreground because it's quite dark there now. The sun is setting and it's only probably about 15 minutes away now. So I'm trying to find a focal point for the lens to focus on in the foreground. I've got a bit of blowout on the sun, but I'm not too bothered about that. I think that might be all right. It looks like I'm just slightly over the bottom third getting this shot. We'll see how that turns out. So something you do need to be aware of when you're taking pictures of trees is you kind of want a separation from a tree behind it. You need to have gaps around your subject that you're taking a picture of. If it overlaps something, it can become a bit confusing and distracting for the viewer. So yeah, and the other thing is if you've got the sun behind you, you might be casting a shadow across your subject, so bear that in mind. Yeah, I think I've shot enough of this tree. I just noticed on the other hill now, there's a couple of ponies just standing on the very end. And it does look quite nice. I've got a very similar image to this before. And it does. Silhouetted horses walking down the edge of the brow of the hill does make a good image. There's not much going on in the sky. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to try something here. So I've got 3 ponies on the other side, and that's a good number. Odd numbers in photos make great shots. The sun is setting behind them, but what I'm hoping to do is try and manoeuvre down the side of this hill to line the sun up. So I've got the slope of the other side I've got to bear in mind. I think this could make for quite an interesting shot. I'm almost there. One horse is now above the horizon. The other 2 are quite low. Makes a good backlight. Can't see the other 2. I'm now staring into the sun. So I'm losing the sun a bit here now. Got a silver birch. Yeah, they've just gone below the horizon. But I have got one horse still at the top, so I might just use one one might work still. So the horse is just standing there now, and I'm just firing off silhouette shots, one after another. It's quite good because the sun is in front of him or her. Just waiting for it to turn now because it's turned away. It's a make or break really, this shot. It'll either work or it won't. One of the downsides to this is I am staring into the sun, but I can see it's a perfect ball. Not something that's probably going to make me go blind, because it's gone through quite a thick cloud cover now. Okay, the horse has turned away, so I might not have another opportunity here. Maybe I've got it, maybe I haven't. I'll just take a quick look. Yeah, I might have it. I don't want it to be a big crop, so what I might do is just keep it so small, just so you get an idea of how small it is inside of that landscape. I think I might just use that. I've got lovely colours there. This dark orange is going lighter and lighter and lighter as it goes up into the hemisphere. Yeah, I might be happy with that one. I got quite an interesting shot here. Probably looks like it's gone a bit blue hour to you, but to me the sun is just a ball in the sky. Probably minutes away from setting, and it's just gone underneath quite a large tree, and I'm wondering if I can just get that shot before it goes. Just need to raise my tripod up a couple of inches, well, 6 inches, just to get it to my height, because that's where I'm seeing the sun at. Now it's just a case of fit the shot in, focus on the branches because they'll be the more dominant feature at the moment. Take shot. What have I got? Underexposed. So let's bring that right up. So I don't really care about the shadows in this shot. I'm trying to get, not clip the highlights. I'm on f8. .1/20th of a second, ISO 64. Right, that's it for this evening. I've got as many images as I can get before the sun went down. I'm quite pleased with some of them on the back of the camera. Looking forward to how they look when I get home. But yeah, thank you for following me up to now. If you haven't done so already, give me a like and subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to be notified when my next video is out. Next week I am heading towards Cornwall, so join me for that, and hopefully I'll get some sunsets and sunrises there. And yeah, see you then. Bye bye.